Hello there, it's nice to have you here. Today I want to talk about language learn, more specifically about the vocabulary and the language acquisition. So, recently I've been thinking a lot about vocabulary. Vocabulary is a thing that really, really is a problem for me. All right? Um, because there are so many methods to follow it through, and I don't know which choose. There is the ALG method that you just watch a bunch of content, try to naturally absorb the vocabulary. There is the Anki method. As I said, I recorded a video recently, and I just want to share how it's going and what I'm thinking about vocabulary. It is a very problematic thing for me, I'm not gonna lie. So, first thing, I'm using Anki to some very specific vocabulary. I'm using Anki for country vocabulary, so the name of countries I'm have them in English, and I'll see the flag of the country and I try to remember the name of it. So at the same time that I'm improving my English because I'm having contact with the country's names in English, I also improve my geography overall knowledge because I'm having contact with the flags and with the maps, etc. So I use in English as a tool to improve uh, my geography overall skills. So I'm using geography, that is a, a topic that I kind of like, um, plus English to mix up those and improve in the same time in both. Um, I also using Enki to improve my vocabulary in food, you know, mainly in ingredients of food and of culinary, that I put the image of a specific food and I put the name in English in the back, with the audio. So I look to the ingredient and I say, oh, that's that specific ingredient, and I see the flashcard, and I seen that could say, oh, I'm right or I'm wrong, as all the flashcards worked. It is a really big problem in my head, this thing about vocabulary, and I'm thinking a lot about it. Today I started to do um, the the Goldlist method. I'm trying to apply it, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know if I should. You know, I really don't know if I should try to apply it. I was using a tiny. Let me grab here. I was using this tiny notebook here. I started to do right now, but I decided to record a video here to talk. So there is some words that I'm noting down here with a phrase that I created, and in that phrase I wanted to express the meaning of the word. It's not specifically the gold list method, but it's somehow the same thing. It is very good because it's analogical. It's not like Anki, which you need an electronic device. Because I like analogical things, type of thing, and I using this notebook here with the word and the phrase. So this is the first day, this is the second distillation, this is the third, this is the fourth. But I don't know. I don't know if I should do it. You know, I started to do it, and I think with myself, I really need to do it. Takes effort, takes time. I really need to memorize those vocabularies, those words. I mean, and improve my vocabulary in this way. There is a lot of different ways to improve this. I can use Anki. I can use, I don't know, the AOG method and just watch a bunch of content and memorize vocabulary. I could do it, but I don't know if I should do it. Um, and it's quite like that. These words, I was using them because I was like, I will tell the story, right? I started to write something. Um, Look, I started to read a new book. I finished Alice, Alice in Adventures in the Wonderland. I'm also reading the Death by a Black Hole, and I bought the Picture of Dorian Gray and this book here, which is the Wuthering Heights. Is an English classical book, and the language that is used here is very difficult indeed. I open up the first page and I simply can't understand nothing. I look at that. I can't understand this. So I took the book and I tried to read it, but I didn't understand a thing. So I started to use ChatGPT to help me, and I was trying to read a paragraph, and after that I was going to ChatGPT and saying, "Oh, what this word means, what this word means," and after that send to him the whole paragraph and asking for an explanation of it. And with an explanation, I could understand obviously the paragraph, and after that, I could try, to understand the whole paragraph again. But it takes a lot of time to do this, right? And I was learning, or at least having contact with a bunch of language uh, that I never saw before. For example, the word tenant, which is the guy who rents land for a landlord, and I just learned this word. So I was going to ChatGPT and asking for help, and I was realizing that I have in contact with a bunch of words that I don't know, and I was thinking, oh, I need to use an active way to learn those words. But so I was thinking, oh, maybe Anki, but I'm quite. Uh, I would say that I'm quite suspicious about Anki and its true effectiveness. I mean, I know that Anki is a very powerful tool for memorization, but I don't know if I need to memorize the words. Because I want to be able to use the language proficiency, but not only that. I don't my goal is not only become conversational, or become fluent, because I think that I'm already very conversational. I'm already very fluent. I can express myself very well. Um, I think so, at least. So my goal is not just this. I want to be proficient, and by proficient I mean really proficient, be truly proficient. But you see, the problem is, I don't know. I don't know if I need to do this to become more proficient. For example, I have the desire to study abroad, to study in an international university, or in a university on England or in Canada, in those places, right? So it will be extremely necessary, uh, a very proficient level of writing and a very academical level of writing. So I will need to become a master in writing English, and to know those specific terms that I need to know for my specific area. Um, that's probably math. I want to be a mathematician, a research mathematician, so it's very important to know those very specific areas, like a specific vocabulary for that specific knowledge. So I I also maybe will need to make some tests like the E L E AELTS or the FOELT. I don't know. I don't know the acronym for it, but I will need to know it. And I don't know if use Anki or use other active recall vocabulary method will be useful for it. I don't know. Because in Portuguese I have a very good level in Portuguese, alright? It's a language that I live it with all my life with it. I'm a poetry, like I'm a poet in Portuguese. I do research, academic research in Portuguese, so I'm used to a lot of words, but I never used any active vocabulary method to learn some specific words in Portuguese. I just used my dictionary sometimes, and the words stick up into my head. So I'm thinking, oh, should I learn this language through this, because I already passed the plateau, the intermediate plateau level. I'm again struggling with this word, but I already passed the big problem the language learn, and now I'm just enjoying it and become more proficient. So I know that in the early stages you should really do an active study, because the language that you are conviving with, you just simply don't know nothing about it. If I'm watching a French content for example, now I will understand nothing, or at least I will just understand a tiny part of it, and I will the rest of it I will have no clue at all, because I don't know French. I never learned properly through a long period. So that's that's my question. Should I do it or shouldn't I do it? So I'm thinking about my grammar. I didn't study grammar recently, so I don't know what should I do to best use the language. Although I'm watching a bunch of content, I'm trying to make the content that I watch diverse, but overall I'm having 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours of contact in the language. I'm watching old movies with subtitles because it's hard to understand. I'm watching YouTube videos mainly without subtitles because I want to train my hearing, and I don't need them really because I'm already very used to the language that is used there. So I will try to keep watching, to keep consuming content. I will again. I need to finish this book until within this month. So I don't know. I will use it, ChatGPT, to learn it, and I also will give a try to the Goldlist method. You know, because why not, right? Why not? So I'll give a try to this, but I will not use Enki by now to more specific or complicated um, words and phrase. I will just use Enki for some very, very, very specific contents and specific words, like the words for the countries, for states in, I don't know, USA, or words for um, the ingredients of culinary, because it's a thing that I want to know. I want to know that thing and not only the word. My goal is not to learn the language, but to learn the thing through the language that it's English, and that's my goal. So making a summary of it. I will use the vocabulary in through the Goldlist method. I will try to keep reading. This book's really hard for me right now, and it's been quite a struggle to read it. But I think that maybe in the next chapters it will become easier. So reading vocabulary through Goldlist method and a little bit by Anki. I will start to I will keep watching a bunch of content, and I will try to speaking more. Although my speaking, I think that may be getting a little better right now because I'm be able to express myself with more smoothness. So it is that by today. See you later. Bye.